All right, so I had a thought. I know, don't blame me because I had a thought, right? Or don't judge me because I had a thought. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I gotta run with it. Now, the thought that I had here is that this right here is a battery charger slash air compressor slash flashlight slash power bank, right? Now, there's a lot of these on the market, so here's my thought. My thought is you got their high-end brands, and then you got maybe something like this that you just can get straight out of the manufacturer. So my thought is, do high-end brands use the same places that make these, and then the company that makes them the exact same way but resells them under a different label? I don't know. Do you think that happens? So my thought is, as I've been going through and testing a lot of these, I'm gonna test this one that honestly is, I don't really even know the name of it. A no name, we'll just call it no name, but it's made in China. So what I've learned from testing a lot of these is that all of them have a flashlight. All of them claim to go up to 160. This one's 180 PSI. But when I stick it on my truck, which is a high PSI tire, some of them do really well. Like 2 minutes, 10 PSI. Some of them take 10 minutes to go 10 PSI. I'm curious to see where this is gonna land as a tire inflator. Then I'm also curious to see how many volts it's gonna pump into the battery. Is it gonna get it up into the 14, 15 range to start your vehicle? And does it compare to all the other comparison tests that I've done? So let's start with that thought and let's go from there. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna take you on a quick little journey so that if you are looking at picking one of these up, you'll know exactly what you get. So right out of the gate, it's really simple, really simple and intuitive. If you're gonna jump start the car, it is right here. You're gonna open that piece up right there. You're gonna stick in these right here. And the moment you do that, it's gonna enter into jump start mode and it's gonna click, or it should click, charge, click, charge, click, charge. You're also gonna get a accessory kit right here with a Presta, a Schrader valve, a ball valve for pool toys, and then a needle valve for your sports ball. So gives you all of that, plus it better be USB-C in our day and age, right? Everything needs to be USB-C, and it is. The thing that I've noticed that on higher end models, they usually come with like a gasket that seals the airflow pressure. This one comes with that gasket as well. You can see right there. So I'm like, okay, that's a plus. I've seen some lower end that doesn't happen. The connection isn't clean, the connection isn't pure, so it leaks a lot of air, which causes the pump time to take a little bit longer. So right out of the gate, I'm like, okay, that's solid. Obviously, to turn it on, you're just gonna press and hold that middle button right there. And it lights up the gauge, the display, the LCD display is really big, it's readable. You're gonna have a couple different modes where you press the mode button, big M right there. You're gonna have the car tire, right? You're gonna have a motorcycle tire. You're gonna have and I think all of this is in bar. So we're gonna change that. And then KPA, we're gonna go down to PSI. All right, to change it, you just press and hold the mode button. Now we're in PSI. So car tire, 36, it just defaults to that. Motorcycle, 32. Bicycle, 26. Sports ball, rocking at 10. And then you have an other, right? And that's at 36. For this one, we're gonna see how well it does on my big high PSI tire for the truck. So we're gonna go from 65 to 70. We're just gonna get 5 PSI. We're gonna time that 65 to 70. Some of them, believe it or not, I've had some that it didn't make it. Overheated, died, just going up 5 PSI. So it's a really big test to see if it'll actually do truck tires. But for me, that's my use case. I have a truck, and if it'll do truck tires, then it fits my need, right? For you, if you don't have truck tires, then it's gonna do a car tire, right? All right, and then you got a flashlight mode. You got one, which probably just kicks it on. You gotta press and hold on that. There, it kicks it on, and then if you press it again, you get that SOS, there's roadside assistance, and then if you press it again, you get a strobe effect, and then a solid light. And we're just gonna press and hold and turn that off. Now that comes in really handy if you're on the side of the road, you need some help, or you just need to alert the oncoming traffic that you're here working on your car or truck. So that light is a must, I think, in all of these things. And what I don't see on here is that sometimes they have little hammers that you can break glass on. This one doesn't have that, but that's all right. You do have a power bank functionality with a USB-C out and a USB-C to charge it, and it can act as a power bank. So a lot of times your jump starters just sit in your car and you don't even think about them until you need them. That's how I'd recommend using something like this. Let it sit in your car, your truck, or whatever. And the cool thing about this is that over time, if you haven't used it in a long time, the battery may tend to wear down. But with it being a USB-C, you could just charge it up when you need it. If it's dead, if it sits there for a while and it dies on you, you could charge it up and then use it. There was a time when my son had one of these in his car. We had a flat and we went to go change the donut and the donut was flat. And so because it was USB-C, we just sat in the car for about 30 minutes, waited for this to charge up, plugged it in and filled the donut up and got us on our way. So that to me is awesome for a USB-C that doesn't have an external battery component, which you're probably going to use or an external power sources, you're probably going to lose anyways. So I love that USB-C functionality there. All right, let's go see how well this can go from 65 to 70 PSI. Now, normally we're going to be in the 5 to 10 minute range. Let's see where this guy lands. All right, we got this set at 65 PSI. We're going to crank that to 70. So just go 5 PSI. And we're gonna get that to 70. We're gonna go 5 PSI. As soon as I press start, press and hold onto that. That's going. We're gonna start that up. Now we're gonna see how long it actually takes to go 5 PSI. All right, that went 5 PSI in. I looked over right when I did that, and I think if I need to, I'll correct it back in editing. But 5 PSI in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, somewhere in there. That's actually really impressive that it's going to get those higher PSIs, and we didn't even lose a battery life. So far, my thought, might be just coming true. So let's check. One other thing we need to check is how many volts it's going to kick into your battery to see if it'll actually kick it up to those starting. Now, obviously, I can't give you cranking amps, but I can definitely give you the volts, which should translate, maybe not always, but should translate to cranking amps. All right, let's go do that. So we're starting at 12.84 right there. That's just going to be there so that you can see what happens when you plug this in. Now, it's really super easy. Just like you're jumping a car, you just put that in the positive terminal. So we'll kick that there. This in the negative terminal. And as soon as you plug this in right here, you're gonna see that 12.8 jump. There we go, and it just jumped immediately to 15. So that means it's just shoving a ton of starting amps into your battery, right? Or cranking, starting volts. It's just a bunch of volts, which translate to cranking amps. So that it can wake your battery up, charge your battery, and you can get back on the road as fast as possible. So that's interesting. This little guy right here, we're gonna go ahead and stop this test. Let me tell you what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking right this second is that this little guy right here stood up to a lot of the other ones that I've tested and has done on par or better than some of them. Now, the only true test, to being real with you guys, is longevity. Some of those higher end ones might have better components, might have better internal parts, and gonna last a lot longer. However, with something like this, you shouldn't be using it every single day. Your use, the amount of times that you use this should be limited and should be low. So this is something that you want to sit in your truck, sit in your car, set it and forget it. And when you need it, it's there for you as an emergency roadside assistant. So if you're looking for something that replaces a lot of your roadside assistant stuff and you don't want to take that leap into the high-end stuff, this might be a really good option for you.